You got them foiled up, right?
No.
No.
What does that do?
Keeps them moist.
Warmer. It keeps them warmer.
I'll put a napkin over the top.
That'll do it. That'll do it. Hey, we're live, everybody.
Hey, Jeff McKinney.
Let's go.
Take off, eh? All right. I think we're good. How's everybody in the chat doing tonight?
Things are good. What are y'all drinking right now? I see methyl. I see Rhett. I see a very handsome guy with white sunglasses. I don't know where those sunglasses are anymore.
Oh,
they're already clamoring for the story. I think we're gonna wait for the air about what happened to Eccles. He looks a lot better than I thought he would.
Well, today's like the first day, really. I was telling John, today's the first day that I didn't wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and have to take more narcotics.
Well, that's always good. I'm glad you're taking a pause between the narcotics and the booze.
Yeah,
that's good.
And as I'm saying, falls asleep in the middle of the episode.
Right. I don't know. I hate my back. I can't sleep on my back.
As I was talking about the narcotics and booze, I see Jeff, your mom jumped in the chat. Hi, Annette.
All right. I think I'm all set. Are you guys all set?
I think I'm good. Yeah.
All right. Everybody's got their dog. Is anybody eating hot dogs or bratwurst that's watching?
Oh, yeah. Good question.
Are you guys both eating brats tonight, or is anybody eating a hot dog?
I've got Polish.
Oh, okay. All right.
John, I feel like my record is secure. We can go back and look that up later, but no one's eaten more dogs and buns during one show than
I don't even try. It's like the last thing on my care list. Possibly the very last thing.
That's nice. That's whenever you don't get what you want, you go, I didn't care anymore.
You're such an asshole sometimes.
Laura's eating brats. Rhett's eating jambalaya. Meth had a Nathan's this morning.
Nice. Solomon, give me a mic check. I think you're coming in a little hot.
Hey, check.
All right, John, give me something.
Really? You want me to do that again?
All right, I think you guys are good. How am I coming through? Am I coming through a little quiet?
You're doing good. But you're also really close to the mic, so
yeah, as always. All right, I think we're good. If not, I'll just fix it in post. All right. Well,
hey, Jeff McKinney's watching live. What's up, man?
Oh, and now my microphone's yelling at me because I'm being too noisy.
Oh, I love that.
Shut up, Jitsi.
Hey, I'm gonna go get a backup just in case.
You better go get 3 15% beers, John.
I'm just gonna get one more.
One more. Okay,
we're right back.
Oh man.
Jeff McKinney, what's going on? How are you able to watch us tonight?
With a computer.
He's usually busy at this time of the evening, Jeff Solomon.
Oh. Rhett's waiting on the jambalaya, but he's got sausages and blue cheese for the whiskey he's drinking. Rhett, you're eating right, man. Happy Canada Day.
Happy Canada Day. Oh.
So, viewers, here's a little. Jeff has a vacation day today. Awesome, man. for the viewers, a little inside baseball. Eccles was talking about how his computer yelled at him. The program that we use to, you guys are seeing us through YouTube on our webpage, but the program that we use to record and see each other, it's called Jitsi. And there's this wonderful like automated lady in the background that talks to us sometimes. And sometimes there are these like nasty signs that show up on our screens that tell us we're being too loud. Apparently that happens to me a lot, but
yeah, me too. All right.
Even when you're not on the show.
You're too noisy, it'll say sometimes.
Live streaming is
on.
Oh Christ, we're idiots. All right, I'm recording there. YouTube is on. We've got the show notes filled out. We're all set. Here we go.
Hey everybody, this is Ray Pruitt, a fictional character from your favorite 1990s TV show 90210. And you're listening to the We Like Drinking podcast, where you never drink alone, and then after you're done drinking, you slap Donna Martin and you push down some stairs.
At the sound of the tone, the official We Like Drinking time will be 5 o'clock. Commence consumption.
On episode 284 of the We Like Drinking podcast, we'll be discussing the annual July 4th hot dog eating show contest, idiots out walking around with booze, and what the heck happened that we missed our second episode ever last week. We'll find out tonight. So crack open that beer, uncork that wine. Happy Canada Day, and let's get drinking.
Drinking.
Man. It feels like it's been so long, guys.
It has been. By the way, let's get this out of the way. Happy Canada Day. We're recording on July 1st. Also, happy Bobby Bonilla Day, which honestly, I don't think any of us could do it justice, like explaining it. You just need to know that Bobby Bonilla signed the greatest contract of all time. And so every July 1st, Bobby Bonilla Day through 2035, Bobby Bonilla.
If he passes away, does it like go on to his kids, or if he gets so old?
Yes, it goes to your children. Yes, that's usually how it works.
Right. Okay, so let me just start by saying cheers, my podcast drinking friends, and welcome to Happy Hour 284 of your favorite award-winning topical beer and wine education podcast, focusing on fun and the fourth and dogs. I love and hate this episode every year all at once. I was talking to the family about it tonight. Like, why do you dislike it so much? It's like, well, generally I talk the most during any given episode. So these two yahoos are just sitting there just pounding down dogs, and I'm trying to get through. And I every July 4th, it's always my story too. And guess what today? Yeah, my story again. So yeah. Oh, look at this plate full of man meat that Jeff Solomon has. So make sure you never miss another episode of our brand of drinking fun by visiting WeLikeDrinking.com/subscribe. All right, you've heard everybody talking, mostly me, but let's find out who we're with tonight, who we're drinking with tonight, what they're drinking, and what they're eating. We're joined by our usual panel members. We have our California Sustainable Wine Growing Ambassador and recovering wine blogger, Jeff Solomon.
Hello.
We have our commercial brewer and snake wrangler, John Ruyak.
I was told to be here. What are we doing?
You got the whole plan. It's all on you. And I am your host and certified specialist of wine, Jeff Eccles. So this week, every year, this is maybe our third, maybe fourth year of doing this. Fourth year. It's our July 4th celebration. Like Jeff said, we're doing on July 1st. It happens to come out on July 3rd. So this weekend, you can, while you're grilling your dogs or your brats or your hamburgers or whatever, you can enjoy us in your ear holes while you're doing that, and you hear us chomping away on some meat as well.
Whoa! Hey,
Yeah.
I just need to ask because it's totally germane to the discussion here. Is the Nathan's hot dog eating contest happening this year?
Ooh, I don't know. Is that,
I would.
you would know that, Solomon.
You know what? I should. Here's what we're gonna do while we are continuing recording. Our lovely friends that are currently watching live, as you ought to do every Wednesday night at welikedrinking.com/show. They're gonna look it up and let us know. I think it'd be awesome if it was like a Zoom meeting.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was just on the honor system. Like, no, I ate 60.
They're doing it on Jitsi this year. All right. So let's see. So Solomon, have you already finished one dog?
No, I haven't even started. So what I have tonight, I felt like, look, nobody is going to eat more dogs and buns during an episode. I think we proved that year over year over year. So this year for me, the contest is who's eating the best. And so what I have here are
I like how you change the rules every year as to what constitutes winning, and don't tell us.
Yeah, well, that's part of the secret. It's the key to life, everybody, is make up the rules as you go. So what I have are 4 oh man, I should have brought I saved the label for it. I've got 4 100% grass fed beef Polish sausages that I was cooking with a Sierra Nevada summer ale. I've got sauteed onions and peppers and mushrooms and garlic, and I'm salivating over the brown spicy mustard that I see in front of me too. Yeah, and to wash them down, I got a mix pack from Sierra Nevada. I have a couple Torpedo Extra IPAs because you know what? 4th of July is coming, baby, and ain't nothing more American than being extra. So there you go.
Brew!
Ow!
All right, let's see. John Ruyak.
So I don't know that I can quite meet that standard. I'll say that. Does anybody recognize this bun?
It looks like just
that is the Oscar Mayer hot dog length bun.
No, it is what's left over from the buns I had last year and put in the freezer immediately after I opened them. So I made sure I didn't waste any hot dog buns. So
wow,
we eat hot dogs. That's either inspiring or disgusting, or both.
Well, it's inspiring that you're giving your life to finding a real treatment for COVID-19. So there you go.
So yeah, the blue lacing may be penicillin. I don't know. But I got some locally made bratwursts at Sprouts, and I braised them, or I boiled them in water, but I added maple syrup while I was pre-cooking them on the stove, and then I finished them off on the grill, and I've got some onions and some stone ground brown mustard. And to quench my thirst from this, I've got some Santa Fe Social Hour, and I was mistaken. I thought that this was like a session beer, but this is a hazy wit style brew with tropical fruit, and it clocks in at 7% ABV. So yeah, we'll see.
See what happens.
Yeah.
Should be a fun show. Yeah, I reminded everybody about the hot dogs tonight, and then I completely spaced it off until about 10 minutes before the show. So I've got 2 hot dogs. I have no clue what brand they are. I microwaved them as well as my bun, and I've got some deli brown mustard, some dill relish, and some pepperoncinos on them. And then to drink, I am going from Hop Butcher, another of these shipments from my good buddy Brad. This is the Mirror Ball. You can see a little disco mirror dancing away here. This is Mosaic, Centennial, and Citra hopped double IPA, clocking in at 7.5%.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I think the greatest thing that we just learned is that Jeff Eccles doesn't know how to pronounce pepperoncini.
Yeah, I was going to say, he hasn't ordered enough Papa John's pizzas in his life.
There you go.
Hey, so and I did just want to chime in. Our friends in the chat are so amazing. I have on good authority from multiple sources that yes, Nathan's is happening. There you go. There you go.
Wow.
Yeah,
Social
man.
distancing be damned. We got to eat some dogs.
I mean, I guess the big thing is you're not talking while you're eating, right?
No, there may be some spittle flying out of your mouth, though. Just
Come on.
Undisclosed location with social distancing in place. This should be amazing. Oh, wow.
be fantastic. Okay. So,
I guess the goal tonight is to see if we can have some breakthrough bleeding in my bandage by making.
Oh my God.
yeah, to see if I could blow out break some more bones or something like that. We got a lot going on this week. All right. Before we get too deep into it, though, it's always fun. The 4th of July bit is always some of the best ones. So let's get into grape, hop, no, wine, beer, spirit, or pop culture reference. So this is where I'm going to give the panel a term, and they're going to try to tell me if it's a wine term, a beer term, a spirit term, or some kind of pop culture reference. Jeff is doing a fantastic imitation of a chipmunk right now with his cheeks so full of dog that he can't even speak. So let's get into this word. The word this week is Riparia. So is Riparia a wine term, a beer term, a spirit term, or some kind of pop culture reference? John is eating and looking at the scar on his skull at the same time. So we're going to go with Solomon first here.
You know what's so weird is like I know this.
Mm-hmm.
This is a science term. It's I want to say it's even a biology term, and I'm feeling like such like a weirdo that like I just cannot pull it up for exactly what riparian is. I'm just feeling like really it's killing me right now. Riparia.
If I spell it for you, would that help, Matt, possibly?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Let's try it.
Riparia.
Riparia. God. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna say that this is I'm gonna get this so wrong, but I'm gonna say that this is a spirit reference, and Riparia is in some sort of reference to a vegetation that is added to a certain distilled spirit. Let's go with that. I'm so wrong. I'm so annoyed right now.
Solomon's going with a spirit term for some kind of herbage added to a distilled product.
Yeah.
John Ruyak.
Riparia, I think, is going to be derived from the term riparian, which has to do with stream or riverine ecosystems.
Son of a...
Which are very rare in New Mexico and Colorado and Arizona. Only 2% of the land area in New Mexico is considered riparian. However, 75% of biodiversity in New Mexico is found in riparian zones. I am going to say that riparia it's a wine term, and I'm going to think it's a grape, maybe even a wild grape that grows along streams, and it might be a wild American grape variety that grows along streams.
All right.
John, I love that answer.
John Ruyak is saying that this is a wild American grape. So going with the wine term. Interesting answers from our two panel members tonight. I just blew up my screen. All right. Well, the term Riparia is in fact a wine term. You guys are this is going to freak you out. This is going to freak you out. Vitis riparia is a grape species that grows in the Midwestern area of the United States. An interesting note about riparia, it is the rootstock to which Vitis riparia was grafted on in order to save wine from phylloxera. Some of the varieties include Bacchus, Bacca Noir, Elvira, and Frontenac. So, Riparia. John Ruyak hitting it out of the park, Bobby Bonilla style.
Foxy. That was foxy, bro.
Foxy answer from John Ruyak. Well done, sir.
Thank you.
I was using
herpetology comes in handy on the show.
All right. I don't know. Where do you guys want to go next? Do we want to talk about news?
I've got it. I actually have a question for the panel before you maybe get into your story, right? From listener Jeffrey McKinney, who really does do Twitter right. The question is for John. What would happen if you put bottom fermenting and top fermenting yeast in the exact same brew?
In the exact same brew?
Yeah.
It would depend on it would depend on the temperature at which you pitch that yeast. So bottom fermenting is going to have its most activity in the 52 to 55 range. 50, 52, 55 range. Top fermenting yeast, most of them are best above 65. So you'd get a dual fermentation. You get some characteristics of both. If you were going to do that, if you wanted to do that, I would go with a kind of a mid gravity beer, something 13, 14, 15 Plato, something like that. And I would try to pitch that yeast at about 60 to 62 degrees and see what happens. Because you're going to start that fermentation with the bottom fermenting yeast, right? It's going to go and it's not going to be super clean. You're going to get some fruity esters out of it. And then once the natural temperature from the fermentation raises the wort temperature over 65, you'll see some more activity out of that top fermenting stuff. Usually when those things happen, you end up getting characteristics of the more robust flavors. So it's going to ferment more like an ale.
And
be my guess. I mean, there are yeasts that do that kind of thing all on its own rather than doing both. Like K97 is used for making Kolsch. So that's kind of like an ale yeast that works at lower temperatures. And then there's the 3470 stuff from Weinhesteffen that's really super expensive, but that ferments that would be the ultimate multi-temperature yeast. You can brew great beer from 3470 anywhere from like 48 degrees up to 70 degrees. That is
so cool. And I'm just thinking, like, I'm coming at it from my biology background. I'm thinking about, two species like that have the same niche that are in the same area. The one is going to outcompete themselves, but within that barrel, they're taking on two different micro climates. And so even if you know what I would want to do? I would want to like temperature control it and split the difference and keep it there regardless of what's happening during fermentation, just to kind of see. But I think John's got it. I'm sure John knows from experience, but it seems like they would each kind of stick to their own area, impart their own flavors along the way. I just think that's so cool. Yeah,
I will say that I did a hybrid brew like that in Costa Rica.
Okay.
And I had some K97 yeast and I had some 3470, but I didn't have enough of one or the other, so I mixed them. And it was a super tasty batch of Kolsch, but I don't know that I want to do that all the time. It was super tasty, and it was one of those things where I think it was, I was there for a couple weeks and I'm gonna be leaving, and I was like, oh shit. So I wasn't really monitoring the temperature of that particular fermenter along the course of it, so I can't say exactly. I do remember it tasted really freaking good, though.
Nice. All right. So, as most of you know, there was no show last week, and we thought we'd share the reason.
What's it? I swear to God, in my mind, we did a show.
Yeah, I know. In my mind, we may have done a show. I don't really know. So last Monday.
Would you like an intro for this,
Sure,
Jeff?
yeah, I better have one.
Bo, Jeff Eccles has a really hella extreme story.
You know what the bad part about this is, though?
What's that?
I got a notice from the Rio Rancho public school system. Their music department is funded by some outside source, and they're having a music sale, and you could go buy violins, and I don't have a violin to play while you're telling this.
So let me start off this story, and I know everybody knows the answer to this, but there's a very valid reason as to why women live longer than men. And my story is going to kind of explain why that is, even though we all know the answer, because men are idiots. So my oldest son last Monday was asking me, Dad, can we go for a bike ride? Dad, can we go for a bike ride? I really have to show you something cool. I'm like, okay. Having no idea what he wants to show me. So I'm like, all right, let's eat. And then after dinner, you can go show me whatever you got to show me. So we climb on the bike and he's like, oh, I got a couple friends coming with us too. I'm like, all right, cool, let's go. And so we ride all of 3 blocks from the house and they all stop. And I'm like, okay, we're on this dirt path. What? And they're like, well, you see, there's this big dip in the path. And then there's like 3 jumps. I'm like, oh, that's cool. It's like maybe a 8 to 10 foot drop. And then like 2 little, maybe 8-inch little hills.
Whoops. They call them whoops.
Whoops. A couple whoops and then a third and fourth that are pretty close together. So I'm like, okay. And so they all go down it and then I go down it. I'm sitting on top of the hill before I go and I'm like, dude, we need to have a talk. You're 51 years old. Don't be an idiot. Just go ride over these things calm and cool and be done with it. And I'm like, okay, self. So I go down it. I go down the first one. I get a little air. I go down the second one. I get a little air. And I'm like, oh, that third one looks fun. And I try to pedal hard, but my gearing is way off. So it's like my feet about come off the bike because I pedal into absolutely no resistance. And so I go over it. I'm like, all right, cool. We're done. And they're like, no, let's go do it again. And so we go up to the top of the hill. And I'm like, oh, don't do it, Jeff. Don't do it. Click, click, click. I'm up in the gear. I'm winding the gears up. And so, my oldest son, it's his time to go. He's like, do you want to go first, Dad, or you don't want me? I'm like, nah, buddy, you go ahead. I'll be right down. And so he goes, and so then I go, and I charge down the hill, and I hit that first one. I get some good air. I hit that second one, and I totally forget like how low a gear I've got or how high of gear I've got. And I just pump that thing as hard as I can going into that second one, the fourth one, thinking, I've got like maybe 2 feet to clear to get from ramp 1 to ramp 2. I go sailing so far past that. And I hit and I'm like, oh man, that wasn't very smart. And kind of as all that happened, like my shocks in my mountain bike kick in. And the next thing you know, I'm back up in the air and I'm like, well, this isn't good. And then my body starts kind of leaning to the right.
Oh.
oh, this really isn't good. Now in my head, I looked over at my kid and I gave him a big old, here we go. And I just barrel into the ground. And so, when you hit hard on something like that, you're like, okay, take a breath. There's going to be some pain that comes, and then you just kind of assess, right? So no real pain came. And like, okay, did I knock the wind on myself? I didn't knock the wind on myself, but I take a breath in, and it's like someone just stabbed me in the chest with a knife, and I go to breathe out, but all that comes out is.
Oh, no.
I'm like, oh, okay, I just knocked the wind out of my
Oh.
and my son starts freaking out. He's like, oh, are you okay? I'm like, I'm fine. I'm fine. Don't worry about it. And so I'm like, okay, I just got to lay here for a second, collect myself. Okay, I got to get up, and I stand up, and just my shoulder hurts, and just the whole right side of my body hurts. And I'm like, okay, I got to get home. And so I start riding, and my body's like, I'm like, no, get off the bike for a second. Now the other two kids that are with us are like, yeah, we're going to go ride the hill again. I'm like, all right, cool. Have fun. And so I get home, and my wife, Marcy, happens to be walking out to go sit on our front deck. And my son is just sobbing, and I'm just still and she, of course, runs to my son. What's wrong? Just like blubbering, Dad. And I go inside. I'm just like, I got to go lay down. And so I go lay down on the bedroom floor, and here come the dogs to say hi.
Oh, yay.
And so the female dog stands over me and starts licking my head. The male dog jumps on my chest and starts licking my face. I'm like, get off. So Martha comes in. She's like, okay, what happened? Where does it hurt? I'm like, it hurts here. It hurts here on my ribs, and it hurts here on my back. And she's like, and I'm still just like, I can't breathe right. Like I can kind of get some hair in, and then it's just this coming out. I can't control it. She's like, all right, we're going to the hospital. I'm like, well, do you really think we need to go to the hospital? Like, I'll be all right. Maybe we should just go tomorrow. She's like, no, we're going to the hospital. So we get down to the hospital, we get checked in, still a lot of pain, but my breathing is starting to normalize. And so now we go through x-rays, we go through CAT scans. They ask me what happened. No idea why I said this. They asked me what happened. I said, I got in a dirt bike accident, not a mountain bike accident, a dirt bike accident. All right. Of course, everybody questions, were you wearing a helmet? I'm like, no, I wasn't wearing a helmet because I didn't know we were going to be doing something like this. Every female gives me that look, their head goes down, their eyebrows go up, and they just like, and every male that I talk to about is like, whatever. So now the word is getting through the ER that some dude got in a dirt bike accident. So now all the male nurses are coming in. He's like, dude, I got a 150. Dude, I got a 450. I'm like, no. And at this point, I'm like, I just got to run with it. I'm like, yeah. You get a lot of speed with that one, right? And so we get through everything. They come back. They're like, well, do you want to go home tonight? I'm like, well, yeah, I kind of want to go home tonight. They're like, yeah, you're not going anywhere. So I broke my right clavicle, but it didn't become separate. It didn't come away from itself. I broke my 5th rib. I broke my 6th rib, and I perforated my lung. And there was a bunch of air in my shoulder at this point, but it seemed like the lung had rehealed itself. So we're going to have to keep you overnight to keep an eye on that air pocket and your lungs and make sure nothing else goes wrong. So end up staying the night. Now the next day is where the male nurses come in and talk to me about their dirt bikes. Was great. Then the next day, the doctors come in to release me. It's 3 male doctors come in to check me out. And one of them, big guy, younger guy, big doctor. And we're all talking about what happened. And, they're all okay, cool. And I'm like, I was just an idiot. I hit that second jump and I don't know, the 13-year-old me took over, and I just had to pedal as fast as I can and see how much air I could get. And they're all kind of like, yeah. And this one doctor is like, dude, I would have done the exact same thing. So I'm just looking like 3/4 of the dudes that I talk to in the hospital are all like, they totally understand everything that I was saying. And it just made me realize that, yeah, this is so why women live longer than men. Because you guys know what I'm talking about, right? There's
Of course.
that, you know, from 3 to like 50, the dumbest you are in that age is like 18. Like from 3 to 13, you're getting smarter, you're getting it smarter. 14, you kind of level out. 16, it starts dipping down to 18, and then it comes back up to 20. So I reverted back to like an 18-year-old dude that was like, brah. It's like Jeff Solomon trying to skateboard again.
Dude, you don't even know. Real quick, real time. I'm going to run across this room. I'm going to show you what I got for Father's Day. You guys do what you do. I'll be right back.
All right. John.
Yeah, I mean, I totally get it. I'm like, you know, I hike in the mountains by myself.
Mhm.
I don't climb cliffs. I don't hand over. But you know, there's times where I'm like, I shouldn't be here, and I almost slipped and fell and knocked myself unconscious. Oh well, let's keep going.
Move on.
You know,
Move on.
Yeah, I'll be careful the next time.
Yep.
You know, I almost think I need to wear a helmet when I'm out hiking in the mountains by myself sometimes. And it's just like, yeah, I probably should wear a helmet.
Probably. Yep. All right, Solomon, what do you got?
So here's the thing. I do love the skateboard, and there's the one amazing thing about COVID-19 is I have all this time to get on my skate. I skateboard pretty much every day now. And normally when I go out on my skateboard, I go out on my normal, like, they call it the popsicle shape, where it's the tail and the nose almost look identical.
Yeah.
And that's what you do most of your tricks on. But, you know, over the course of the last couple of years, I've collected just some other decks just because it's fun to get on different things. And this one I've had for about a year. This is like my big ass old school Eric Wachowski deck right here. It's across its widest part, it's over 10 inches, right? And the wheels that I used to have on it are like these little, like 54 millimeter, pretty hard wheels, like a 98A rating, right? Which is great if you want to do tricks, but there's all these hills around Gilroy. And for Father's Day, I got an Amazon gift card. I wouldn't normally buy something on Amazon, but if you give me a gift card, I'll use it. And I'm like, you know what I'd love? Some big ass soft wheels so I could just scream down some hills. And so I got these friggin' 60 millimeter OJ Super Juices. They used to be like bright hot pink. They're now like brown because I ride them so much. I'm flying down hills, Eccles, every single day, wondering when I'm gonna have a story like yours. It hasn't happened yet.
Good.
But soon. That's because yeah. And I hate to be like gender normative, but it's such like a broy bro thing to do. Like, yeah, bro. It's how I was raised, man. In this heteronormative society. I apologize. No,
and I apologize as well. But it just stood out to me, the commonality between how people reacted to the stupidity that I had performed, of the people that were like, wow, why would you do that? The people are like, dude, yeah, I would have done the exact same thing.
I would totally hit that. So, I mean, Eccles, like you boost it, like you've got like a little bunny hop going, like it's all shoulders when you hit those jumps.
Oh, I wrenched up as hard as I could. Yeah,
I tweak it out.
Yeah, like... I was going for
You know what? I have a story
tabletop at 51. You know how it goes.
I've got a story that's a little bit like that, but it's not quite as showy. When I lived in the mountains in Colorado,
Did it involve a cow?
No, we had a very steep driveway, and my kids are. It's Monday. I got to take the trash out, and the kids are walking down the driveway with me, but I've got the trash can behind me, and it had snowed a little bit that night, and the driveway is just sheer ice, and I've got 40 pounds of trash behind me, and all of a sudden I start sliding down the driveway with 40 pounds of trash behind me, and I hit the bottom of the driveway and just totally yard sale at the bottom of the driveway. And the kids are like, "Oh, Daddy, you're all right, you're all right," and you're just sitting there waiting for the pain to come, just taking inventory. I'm like, "Oh, okay, that joint's okay. That joint's okay. Oh, that joint's it's not okay, but I think I'll be able to walk."
Yeah. Yeah, and that was the thing.
Can I ask you this? Is the worst part when people ask you if you're okay, you're like, just stop. Just don't
Be alone.
don't draw attention to it. Just let me get up respectfully.
You see this bruise the size of Rhode Island? No, I'm not okay.
I love that the chat is full of, oh yeah, Methel's like, I still play hockey like a moron.
Yeah.
Methel's broken her rib. Yeah, So that was Monday. I got released from the hospital Tuesday, and it fully intended on trying to do the show Wednesday, and Wednesday got there, and I was just like, man, I can't. I just like every breath hurts. I just can't do it. So we were supposed to have a guest last week. Luckily, she's been able to reschedule. She'll be coming on at the end of July, and so everything's back to normal. So sorry we couldn't do the show last week, but that is why.
We'll give
How
you a
are
pass.
you feeling now? You're feeling good?
Yeah, I'm feeling better. I was telling the guys before the show, like last night was the first night that I almost slept all the way through the night without waking up. I hate sleeping on my back, but in this, where I'm at right now, I kind of have to sleep on my back.
You don't have a choice.
Yeah. If I lay on my side, everything hurts if I try to lay on anything. So, things seem to be recovering well. There's still like every day I wake up and it's like, well, what's going to hurt today? Oh, that's a new pain. That's
It was kind of fun, like watching people kind of guess. I'm pretty sure Methel thought that I was the person that was injured.
I think most people would think that Jeff Solomon, the rad skateboarder, the youngest of the panel, would be the one that would injure himself. But no,
man.
All right, so that's it for that. Unless you guys got any other stories you want to share about injuries to yourself.
I just have a piece of advice.
What's that, John?
I just had a small piece of advice.
What's that?
Don't do that again.
Yeah. The bike may not make it through the summer. Tired. People keep asking me how's the bike. I'm like, I don't know. I haven't touched it since I got home.
I'm gonna kick it.
It was pretty grindy on the ride home after that.
Oh yeah.
So, all right, let's move on to the big fat booze news. We discuss interesting, noteworthy, or sometimes some pretty silly things. Tonight's article is actually pretty awesome. Breaking news today, I think, out of Iowa. Yes, Iowa. Iowa leading the nation. And something we talked about maybe a month or so ago, Iowa becomes the first state to permanently legalize cocktails to go. Ow! Good job, Iowa. More likely to come. This is being talked about in multiple states, that making this just a permanent thing because the restaurants have enjoyed it so much, the people have enjoyed it so much, and there really hasn't seemed to be a whole lot of negatives out of it. Hopefully most people that get a to-go are smart enough to wait until they get home before they start consuming the drink. So yeah, we talked about this. I think this is a great idea. I think this helps restaurants. I think this helps people. John was, you want a Bloody Mary on your way home or after a rough night, go to Denny's, get a Bloody Mary,
Apart from Lyft and Uber, which has really helped to stem the incidence of DUI, which we totally agree with, reducing that scourge on society. This will just further that, I think, a little bit. I mean, just, you know what, I want to order this, and as long as they're packaging it up in a way that it's not easily accessible on the way home. I mean, people still need to be responsible and get all the way there. That's really cool. And it gives the restaurant or and I would assume that it's only restaurants and not, well, who knows? I haven't read the law. But it gives the restaurant a way to make more money because, well, man, let's be honest, folks, you can make all of these things cheaper at your house.
Right.
So, I mean, it does support that business a little bit more. So yeah, I think that's really cool.
And I think,
and I'm just thinking, I mean, hey, do you want that margarita to go, or would you really like that Bloody Mary? And we'll wrap the celery in cellophane for you so you can stick it in your drink tomorrow morning. But I'm going to suggest that you take home a Bloody Mary and not this margarita, because you're going to need this Bloody Mary in the morning.
Yeah, I think of how many times are you at a restaurant or something like that, and you have your meal, and you're like, man, I would like to have one more drink. I would like one more. And it does two things. One, it keeps you from having the one more while you're out. It gets you out of the off the table faster to get someone else in, and it lets you get home and then enjoy that cocktail or that glass of wine or whatever that you're wanting. So I see nothing but really good things out of it, John.
And it gives the server an out, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Sir, I'd love to give you another drink, but we're going to give it to you to go. Yeah. We're not going to give it to you here because we think that you're probably okay to drive now. But if you'd like another drink, we feel like you should do this at your home.
At home. Yep. Solomon.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a good move. For a second, I was like, well, you can't give them a to-go thing if they're visibly drunk. But right. Yeah, if you're like, look, you've had a couple already, and this is where we're saying, yeah, I think that's a great idea. Yeah. My response to this more than anything else is like, I hope that the momentum of something like this keeps going. I think a lot of us are seeing like you guys, like we've been saying, right? With these relaxed restrictions right now, we're seeing that, yeah, people are getting out of control. This isn't like a Pandora's box situation. It's really, I guess on some level, getting back to, what you might think of as more of like a pre-prohibition style of looking at things, and maybe more of a European style of looking at things as well. So, just in honor of what's happening in Iowa and what I expect will happen all across the country leading into this 4th of July, I just have to sing a song.
Oh,
I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. You better give me that shit to go, because I need to get home and pay. I don't know.
I saw that coming a mile away.
Here we go. All right. Anything else on that one? I'm interested to know what people in the chat are thinking, and if they know what's going on in their states.
Well, the only thing is, I think I mentioned this before, is when we were up against some things here in New Mexico, and actually had some Zoom meetings with some actual state legislators. Lawmakers, even in New Mexico, have realized how restrictive some things are relative to this subject. So hopefully we'll see some measured relaxation to those kinds of things,
Yeah, and there needs to be some logic behind it too, right? At 2:00 in the morning, you can't say, "Hey, bartender, give me a case to go." That's not the best thing in the world.
Yeah, no, that's not it at all.
Probably be tied more to restaurants than just straight up bars.
Right.
So
yeah. And what I'm seeing in the chat is everybody else is saying, like, of course we want this to happen. You know, this is something that we are stoked on. We're getting a lot more like delivery of alcohol. I'm seeing things about, you know, drive-through liquor stores in certain states that have been around for a while. And yeah, it's whoever's against this, quit listening to this show.
Yeah.
That's all I need to say.
I'll actually agree with you on that one for once.
I don't know why you've listened for this long. How many minutes in are we? And you're like, I don't know how I feel about liquor laws.
All right. I am sure everybody listening to the show right now is just about done burning up their hot dogs or whatever they're grilling. So just to let you get back to the party, we're going ahead and call it right now.
Last call.
Last call.
Last call. Time to clean house, lock the doors, and get that last drink order in. So you know what we do here, folks. We're looking for a little bit of help from you. John Ruyak, if the folks want to follow us on the social media platforms, where can they do so?
You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and our private Facebook group known as The Tavern. So that's Twitter, We Like Drinking 1. Instagram's We Like Drinking, and the Tavern group, the Facebook, WeLikeDrinking.com/tavern.
Check
It's a
them
cool
all-
place.
Check them all out. Jeff Solomon, if the folks have some thoughts on the show or this episode in particular, where can they go to leave us a review?
You know, you're probably listening to us on your Apple device right now. So take a look at your phone. Fill up those 5 stars. And then in your review, can we complain about how un-American a 5-star review is? It's got to be 50 stars, bro.
Or 51 if you think DC should be a state. Not.
Well, certainly. Let's, you know, and let's preeminently, let's call it 52 for our friends in Puerto Rico.
Yes. You can also follow. And you know what? I'm going to go back to one of you guys, John Ruyak.
Yeah.
The folks have done all that, and they're looking to do more to help the show out. What can they do?
If you really, I know you want to dig deep into your pockets, and go past the lint and find that change that's down there. You know you've got that crumpled up $20 bill that's got somewhere to go. So visit welikedrinking.com/pledge and find out about all the cool things you can get by supporting our show.
Absolutely.
With the monies.
We'd love to have you. It's so interesting. We get so excited because we add a couple new Patreons, and as soon as we add a couple drop out. So it's like this never-ending, just static level that we never seem to be able to break from. But we love all our Patreons. Look for a poll tomorrow, Patrons. We got a wine drinking episode coming up next week, I think. You can also find the show notes for this episode with all the links to the stories or mentions we had at welikedrinking.com/episodes. All right, that was a lot. My chest hurts. So it's the time of the show where I get to say, okay, panel, let's take one last trip around this table and get some final thoughts before we shut off the lights. John Ruyak.
Well, it wouldn't be 4th of July if I didn't have 2 thoughts, right? So 2 thoughts. First one's PSA, folks. Use sunscreen. Don't put yourself through the crap that I've gone through twice in the last 18 months.
John pointing at the giant piece of gauze on his dome.
Yeah, you don't want to see what's underneath of there, folks. And I just want to say, we kid, and this is kind of an all-around thing. And so thank you to Michelle and Jesse at Vivac. They're such good friends. We went up there for an anniversary last weekend, and we just invited them to come out, and they treated us way nicer than they should have. But it was cool. We didn't talk much about business. We just talked about life, and it was cool. And I hope we're very fortunate to have those friends at Vivac and all the people that work there. And I hope that all of you people out there can develop personal relationships with people that make the adult beverages that you like to drink. It's important. It's important for them. They want to connect with you, and I know you want to connect with them. So make that effort.
Absolutely. Jeff Solomon.
This is usually the time in our 4th of July episode where I sing America, fuck yeah, come together and sing the motherfucking day, yeah. But I find myself being struck in this wave of emotion because this has been a pretty weird year.
Really?
And, there's it's interesting with how polarized our society has kind of seemed over the last, I'm going to call it 10 years. Like it's kind of been like this slow build. And I just want to take this moment just to say, and I know that we have fans all over the world and I love all of y'all. I am an American, and I'm an American living in the United States of America. And shout out to my North American neighbors. I live in the United States of America, born here out of luck, and I live here by choice. And I love the hell out of my entire community, and I love all of y'all. And the beautiful thing about this country is we have the ability to disagree with each other and still look out for each other. And it makes me happy. I am swelled with pride to see how much people care about what's going on. And I love you guys. Happy 4th of July, everybody.
That was great. Great job, guys. I'm gonna say that to both of you. And yeah, this is always something of a special episode because of what it means to live in America. And man, you're right, Solomon. It's been a wild year, but I'm not going to add anything else to it. I think what you guys said was fantastic. And with that,
oh, I'm sorry, I do need to add one other thing. Okay. Cut the music.
There we go.
America, fuck yeah, coming again to say the motherfucking day. Yeah, America, fuck yeah, freedom is the only way. Now, terrorists, your game is through. Now you have to answer to America, fuck yeah. You can lick my butt and suck on my balls. Bring it back.
And with that, I'll say thanks again for joining us at the We Like Drinking podcast.
Where you never drink alone. Yeah,
Eccles realizing he has a broken clavicle halfway.
Switch to a left hook.
Like you made me pop another stitch.
It hurt so much to laugh, dude.
The top of my head is like a freaking basketball. It's just like.
Okay, I want to take this moment while we are still broadcasting.
Still on the
Where
tube.
are you, Dave? Dave K. Are you still in here? Do any of us know Dave K? Are you a first-time
I think
watcher liver?
I think Dave K. That may be the email I sent you guys this week.
I don't check my email.
Great job, Jeff Solomon.
The San Luis Obispo dude.
Yeah, that moved from
feeling lost in Colorado.
From SLO to CSP.
Oh, Dave! There you go. Dave, okay, this will be fun too. Is your last name pronounced Coxix or Cosix?
Is he still here?
Yeah.
Awesome.
He's in the Springs. He was in SLO.
Yeah. Jeff McKinney said he's got 99 problems and skin cancer ain't one, thankfully.
Cosix. Give me a thumbs up. It's Kosas.
Wait for it. That's awesome.
Trying to find thumbs up emoji. Dave says yes. It's Kosas. Dude, thanks so
Thanks
much
for listening.
for reaching out and watching live and everything. It's always awesome when we see a new face. And Rhett, thank you for watching a whole bunch recently. And Jeff McKinney, thanks for coming out. And Meth, we love you so much. What's up?
Thanks for ditching your neighbors to come hang out with us.
Annette for being in the chat as opposed to like just sending like DMs to Eccles during the show. That's cool. We saw Laura earlier.
Nice. Dave and I are going to try to get together next week.
Very
Nice.
cool. And then what else?
Storybook, John? What do you think? I was thinking storybook maybe.
I thought maybe you'd go get a blood orange pale with Chelsea.
Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. Brass is always a good option. Yeah, where Chelsea is, that's always an option. He's kind of west side, so Smiling Toad's always an option, but that's like a 30-minute drive for me.
Smiling, that's the thing about the Springs, man. If you're in the wrong spot,
Which I am.
Nothing's close.
Close. So we gotta figure out where to go to meet up, but we're gonna meet up next week.
Cerberus for the
And
food.
I do just want to say, because I didn't see Cody tonight, so I just want to say before we turn off the YouTube feed, Cody, do better, bro.
Yeah, he said he was going to show up, but then he didn't.
Cody, the fuck, Cody. All right, awesome. Yeah. You told us, Bethel. It makes total sense, but we want to just give you shit about it because we're better than family. Let's be honest. I hope your niece is safe, man. Absolutely. All right, folks. It was awesome hanging out with y'all tonight, and we will talk to you next week, assuming I don't ever touch my bike again. Later on.
Got a boost.